Good morning and welcome to Family Computer Center. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to make a login page using HTML and CSS only. This is how our final output will look like. A kind of small animation also is there when you point to each box and press the login button, and you have a forgot password link here. So I have already made the HTML file for this, and I will explain you the HTML file, and I will write the styles for that HTML file to make it look like this. So this is the HTML document prepared for the login form. So we have a division called division which is having the class main container, which contains everything. So that's the big box which contains all other stuffs inside the login form. So below the inside the main container, the first thing we place is the user image, and we classified this as user img. And just below the user image, we have a login title. So I classify it as L title, and that login title reads as login. And we have a class called up container, like for containing the input boxes and the buttons. So, and inside that one, we have input box for the username and input box for the password. Both of them are having the same class name because we are going to apply the same styles for both of these things. And we have a button login which is having the class btn, and outside of that division we have a link for the forgot password. So this is how the HTML documents looks like. Now if you execute this page on your browser, you will see something like this. Okay, so we need to write styles for this to look like our final output. Okay, so I will switch back to my VS Code and I will go to the style.css, and I have picked already a font inside this one called Comforta. So this is that font. Okay, so I will comment it now, and we are going to use this font whenever we want to use it. Okay, so I will keep the browser window and the code window side by side, so that you can see, like when I write each line of code, what are the changes happening in the screen. You can see directly. So first what I'm going to do is, like, I will call the body, and for the body I will set the margin to 0 and padding also to 0. That means some HTML elements are already having some margin and padding, like heading 1, paragraphs, all of them are having already margin and padding. So we don't want to use the default margin or padding for the element. We will set the padding or margin if we want those things. Okay, now I'm gonna set the background color for the body. So I'm saying like background color. This time I'm going to use the RGB function. In the RGB function I'm going to say like red I want only 1, and green is 82, and blue is 82. Okay, so you can see it gives you a dark teal color. Okay, so now I will set the font family to the body because I prefer to use this font for all of my text. So I'm keeping the font family Comforta for the body. So when I scroll down, now output looks like this. Okay, so next thing what I have to do is, like, this image is too big, so I will change the image to a particular size I want. So I'm saying like user img, which is the class for the image. Then I will say like height 100px. So when I specify height, automatically width will be adjusted in accordance with the height we specify. So now the output is looking like this. Okay, so now we want to set some styles for the main container. Main container means the main box. Main box is which one? The main container, which contains all other items inside it. So there is an invisible main box which carries all of these things. Okay, so I will call the main container inside my CSS. So I'm taking that to CSS dot main container. Then I'm saying like I want the width of the main container to be 50%. 50% of the browser. So now big changes are there because the main container is still invisible. Okay, and I'm saying like the position of that. So let me set a border for this so that you can see the changes happening. So I will say border 1px. Okay, then I will say like red. I have to specify the type also, solid red. Okay, so this is the main container. You can see it now. Correct, it consumes the 50% of the browser size. Okay, so this border we will remove later on. Like, this is just I added to make you understand, like there is an invisible container which carries all other, the image, the login, the boxes and the button and everything inside this one. Okay, and I'm saying like top 50%. Okay, so when I say top 50%, sorry, I have to set the position. So I'm saying like position absolute. Now the top 50%. That means the position of the main container should be absolute. It should be moved from top 50%. We want to move it. So when you move from top to 50%, what will happen? It will reach almost in the middle of the browser. The starting of this box will be there in the middle of the browser. Okay, and I will say like left also 50%, left 50%. Okay, so you can see now from the top it is moved 50%, that means mid of the browser, and from the left it is moved 50%. That means the top, it's not exactly in the center of the screen. The top left corner of the screen is now exactly in the center of the browser window. Am I right? So if you take this as the point, this point is exactly vertically in the center of the browser. Horizontally also this point is in the center of the browser. Correct? Okay. So now we don't want that. We want the middle of this browse, mid of this box to be coming here. Mid of this box. So that means we want to move this box back to here, like mid of this box should come here horizontally and vertically. For that we will use the property called a transform. So I'm saying like transform, then I'm saying translate, then I will say minus 50%, comma, again minus 50%. Minus 50% means minus 50% of the box backward to x. X means the horizontally, and y also, vertically also. So you can see the mid of this box now it is in the exact center. That means the box is in the exact center. So now inside this box we don't want to show the content like this. We want the content to be image here, login, then the username box, below that password box, below that login button, below that forgot password, right? So what I'm going to do is like I will change the display of this main container to Flux, display Flux. Then I will say like Flux. So when I say display Flux, everything comes in like horizontally in rows, right? So I will say like Flux direction to column. So you can say when I say Flux direction, it comes in column, but the image is trying to fit in that box. Okay, so I will say like justify content to the center and align items to the center. Correct? So when I say align item and justify content, what happens? These things comes like this. Okay, so this is not still showing in different lines because this is inside another division. For example, you can see when you go back, there is a division called up container. So these three things are inside that division. So main container is having image, title, and that division and the link. So image, title, that division and the link is like now one by one arranged. Okay, so we are done with the main container. Then we will go for up container. Up container means the container which is having the username box, password box, and login button. So I will call that up container here. I'm saying like dot up container. Then I'm saying like for the up container I want the width to be 30%. 30% means 30% of this main box. 30% of the main box. Then I will say the height. I want the height, sorry. I want the height to be 200 px. So just 200 px bigger. Correct? And I want the background color to be white. Background color to be white. So you can see there is a small box. This is the up container division. So background color to be white. Then same like the other container, I want to display this thing also coming one after the other and vertically and horizontally center of this box. So I will use the same technique I used there. I will change the display of this to flux, and I will say, like, when I say flux, it is now arranged as rows. Then I will say flux direction to column, column. Then I will say, like, justify content to the center and align items to the center. So you can see now the items are in the center and the content is now justified. Correct? So these three boxes comes exactly in the middle of the up container box. Okay. So our next target is to give styles for username and the password box. So what I'm going to do is, like, I will call the class for that. The class for that is txtbx. So I will call the class here. So I will say, like, dot txtbx. Then I want it to be width 80%. 80% means what? 80% of this box. Correct? Then I will set the padding to give an inner spacing. So I'm saying, like, padding 10px. So that means inside this one we have what? Padding 10px. Okay. Then I will set the text align to center. Text align center. So you can see the text is now aligned to the center. Okay. So now what I want to do is, like, I will set the margin because they are staying so closer. So I will set the margin to 5px. So let me get the 5px margin. So they are now away 5px away from each of them. Correct? Okay. So now I have to set the font family. Font family, I will keep the same font family we used for what? The body, which is Comforta. So I will go here and give that same font family. So you can see the font family also is applied now. Correct? Good. Right. So now what we want to do is, like, when we hover for this one, we need to give something like some border. Okay. So I will say, like, dot txtbx colon hover. Then I will say, like, border 0.5 px solid teal. Correct? So now when I hover, it is having what? 0.5 px solid teal border. Correct? Okay. Now our next target is to give styles for this button. So we will call the button. So we will say, like, dot btn, which is a class for that button. So same like that, we will set the color to white. So that means the letter color we want to be white. Okay. And background color we will set to teal, so that it will match with the outside color. Then we will set the padding to 10px, so that it will be having the inner margin same like the text boxes. And we will set the width to 90% of the box. Okay, 90% of the box. Then I will increase the font size a little bit, font size 1 em. Okay, and I would like to use the same font family so that everything will look uniform and good. So the font family is this one. Okay, so our button is, like, now perfect. Now we want to give a hovering effect for this button. So what I want to do is, like, when people try to hover the button, this login I would like to go as bold. Okay, so I will say, like, dot btn colon hover. Then inside this one I will say font dash weight bold. bold. So now when I hover, font is going bolder. So now this is also having hovering effect. This is also having hovering effect. Okay. So that's the thing. So now I want to style this forgot password link. Correct? Okay. So for that I will go back. Then you can see forgot password is having the class FP. So then I'm giving like dot FP, then I will open the curly, then I will say like a color to white. Okay, then I will say text decoration none. I don't want that underline. So the forgot password is also ready. So I forgot something, like I want to set some color for this login. So let me check what is the ID for the login. So we have L title, that's the ID for the login. So we will give the color for the login also as white. So dot L title, then we will say color to white. Okay, there you go. And we don't want this outside border. This one we just put for understanding the main container. So we will go back to the main container and we will remove this border. Correct? So once we remove the border, it's done. Now we are done with our login form. Simply few lines of code gives you a very good looking, neat, clean login form. Correct? Let me try write something here. I'm writing. There you go. This is your login form. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you will not miss any further video we post. See you again. Bye for now.